Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. Hope you're doing awesome. It's, what is this? The end of August? Yeah, I don't even know what day it is. It's the end of August in 2025. And recording this for you, I want to talk a little bit about pre-interviews. No. I was listening to a podcaster recently who was really not a fan of pre-interviews, and boy did this podcaster let it fly. And yes, I understand where they're coming from, but they were basically trashing any podcaster who does a pre-interview. And it almost felt like gatekeeping, everyone. It almost felt like it in that moment. I'm like, oh Lord, this is not what we want. We don't want people saying there's only one way to podcast, because then that means some people won't. Or some people will think they're doing it wrong. So I want to lovingly come to this topic with you and give you some alternatives and some options. I have been a proponent of pre-interviews from day one for my shows. I see great value, unlike this other podcaster, unnamed, because I don't want to do that. I've always loved them because I get a chance to build a bridge with my guest, and I'm torn because my calendar is overflowing with appointments right now because I meet everybody twice. I do a pre-interview, like 20 minutes-ish with my guest. We have great conversations, and then we come back and record on a different day. I feel more prepared personally. It's the way I like to do it. But the one thing I do agree with for this other podcaster who called pre-interviews a waste of time, stupid, a bunch of things. Like, I don't think they were having a great day when they recorded their episode, but they were really just bashing anybody and anything to do with pre-interviews. What I did agree with was it is a big ask of your guest. It is a big ask of your own calendar to have two conversations. And what I'm getting is because this person that had this rant about why pre-interviews suck, they also never edit. They never really do much around their show for all of that side of it. And it shows because they also really struggle with their guests, and their guests ramble and they never interject. They don't control their own show. And I can tell they're struggling. So they're kind of lashing out against all of us, me included, who do a pre-interview. So anyway, for me, I love pre-interviews. I love connecting with my guests. To have a bridge built between us serves me well. I think my podcast sounds better, and my guest knows who the audience is. And the feedback I've had from my audience is they prefer a podcast that has a pre-interview. It feels more organized. It doesn't feel so random. And I do love the idea that meeting somebody, hitting record, gets that story captured in the moment, and that's cool. But if you've been doing podcasting for a while, even if you've met in the past with your guest, it's kind of nice to be able to lead a conversation with some idea of who this person is. I'm not meeting them for the first time. So here's what I'm thinking about doing for my author podcast. I have several PR agencies I work with for that show. I don't make any money from these PR agencies. They keep all the cash from the author that hires them. I wish they did share the money with me. That would make sense, seeing that I have a show that they're putting their authors on, and had it not been for my show and all the other shows, they would have no job. That side tangent aside, I do have these PR agencies. They're great. They're really nice people. And it's when I do the pre-interviews, sometimes I find even myself, I'm like, well, we could have skipped that pre-interview. And some of my How to Podcast guests for this show, I meet them and they're podcasters. Like, they know how to do podcasting. They know how to be on the mic. So I really don't need to pre-screen them because I can just go listen to their show. That makes sense. So I'm thinking about maybe removing that stipulation that you have to do a pre-interview with me, as much as I enjoy a pre-interview, that maybe there is some wisdom from this other podcaster about maybe a pre-interview isn't required all the time. I won't go to the extreme of saying that a pre-interview is stupid and a complete waste of time. I think that's a little bit extreme, but I do see the value in giving people their time back. So I'm torn. So I'm asking you, what do you do for your show? If you do pre-interviews, are you doing them on a separate day? Are you doing your pre-interviews before you hit record? So you have a 45-minute calendar invite, 5, 10, 15 minutes at the beginning is connecting with your guest, and then the remainder of the time is the recording. That could be an option. Are you not doing any pre-interviews at all? You're just meeting the person for the first time, they come on your screen, you hit record. I would love to hear what you're doing for your show and kind of the rationale about why you do it that way so that I can learn from you. Because I think we all have our own ways of podcasting. Again, if you love pre-interviews like I do, they are not stupid and they're not a waste of time. If they work for you, then great. That's the beauty of podcasting. We don't need people out here bashing people for doing something one way because they don't like it, they don't understand it, they don't value it. Doesn't mean it's wrong. So please, if you have an opinion, at least offer the counter opinion. Offer some perspective and don't talk down to people. I think that's one thing I can learn from listening to that episode. It was disheartening to hear one person rant for that extended period of time about why they hate podcasters like me who love pre-interviews. But I'd like to hear from you. What do you do for your show? And if you're starting your podcast, what are your plans? Are you going to have a pre-chat with your guests in advance of recording, then leave and go and research and come up with your questions and then meet them in the future for a recording? Do you prefer to meet, do a pre-interview, and then record? Or do you just jump in, you don't do a pre-interview at all, and you're discovering people in real time? I'm really interested to hear what you do, because that might help shape what I do. And I think I can learn a lot from you as a listener of the show, fellow podcaster, and your perspective means a lot to me. This show is never meant to be a Dave Fest where it's my opinion and that's all that matters. Unlike that other show I mentioned at the beginning, which seems like their opinion's the only thing that matters. I wanted the show to be open to everybody. So I love hearing from you. That's why I set up my SpeakPipe. That's why I have my website and my social media, because I want to hear from you. So reach out to me through my howtopodcast.ca website. Leave me a message on SpeakPipe, whether you're hearing this in real time or in the future. This is an ongoing conversation, and I want to see the value from your perspective. Pre-chats, pre-interviews. Do you do them? Yes or no? How do you do them, if you do them? What have you tried? What have you changed? How have you altered your process when you meet a guest for the first time? How do you do your research? How do you know who this person is on your screen when you hit record? I want to have great conversations on my podcast. I don't want them to feel overly rehearsed. I want it to feel like a genuine conversation in real time. And I want to value my guest time and my own calendar. I could do more if I did less pre-interviews. I know that. Would have more time in my calendar for myself, for my clients, for my just getting away from podcasting and having a break. But when I'm meeting everybody twice for every episode, that's a big ask. I understand that. So I'm listening, I'm learning, I'm taking in from multiple sources. And I think that should be our approach for everything we do in podcasting. Is there's not one single way to do this. It's okay to have an opinion, but please don't talk down to people when they have a different opinion than you do. We can learn together here. we can create a welcoming space where nobody feels judged or put down because they do something different than you do. We need more openness, more coaching, less judgment. You hear that all the time here, less judgment. And I am still a big proponent of do what you can with what you have, where you are. And that might change over time. Your approach might change. As you podcast, as you get into finding your groove, as you do more and more interviews, you might find, like me, that you don't need to do a pre-interview all the time. And that maybe that's one thing you can let go of and earn back some time in your calendar. I'm super curious what you do. And I want to hear and share your ideas here on the show. So that's my ask of you. You have some time here today. Your phone is in your hand. You can easily go to howtopodcast.ca, click the link, and leave me a voice message. I'll even put it in the notes for today's episode. Click the link and leave me a quick message. How do you do your interviews? How do you pre-screen your guests? How do you build a bridge with them? And also tell me about your podcast as well, so that I can share that information, your answer, your show with our audience, and you can get a bunch of new listeners. So it's a win-win. And I'd love to hear from you over at howtopodcast.ca. And if you're going to come on this show in the future, which I'd love to have you on, I might do a pre-interview. I might not. Jury's still out. Once I hear back from you, I might make a decision. But again, thanks for pressing play. Thank you for podcasting. And don't forget, keep talking, keep sharing your message, keep recording, keep being you. I look forward to hearing your show soon. Thanks for listening. Take care.